So back to these caps that are in this building that I showed in the last video. This is meant to be a mental health facility. I hate to put myself out there like that, but I think it might be because I have the clap that I'm able to detect frequency or noise surrounding me, which might necessarily be a godsend. I read about it in the Book of Life. The light of the Lord, whichever you would like to call it. Lord Michael out there. Give me some. Been away from home for 4 months. Wasn't anticipating that at all. Have absolutely no word of what's going on. Disclosed to the doctor I've been prescribed with in there that I was Jesus Christ, and he told me that me and him don't necessarily see eye to eye, and that he may hold me here for another up to 2 months, as he might believe me to be delusional. So it's another godsend that I was able to get my phone in here just so I could have something to do and talk about. Don't get very much coverage in here. But the place is littered with these caps, and I don't get any sleep in this place at all. I dream something crazy every night. And come to find my existence in this country, where I sleep determines the quality of sleep that I get, the quality of rest or slumber. So it's kind of ironic that the place is a mental health facility, and just being who you are, knowing that you're not getting sleep in here means no one is getting sleep in here, whether they believe themselves to be getting sleep or not. But with all this going on, police camping outside my house, I want to take it they knew when I left the house how quickly they showed up. I don't feel very welcome in this country. I'm sure people are very well knowledgeable of the ins and outs. Maybe America itself has a source of life. I believe this place to be multiple places: Japan, Europe, as they taught us in school, which I remember growing up, the separation of church and state from Great Britain. But in my heart of hearts, coming from where I come from, definitely, wholeheartedly, as pure in spirit as you can be, want to go to Africa. How I'm going to get there, I don't know. I make $600 a month, and that's Social Security for being deemed schizophrenic in America. How you can be deemed schizophrenic in America when we live amongst all things schizophrenic, including the English language, is beyond you. I'm looking for some help out there somewhere. I know Big Brother Lucifer. I'm sure you wouldn't like to be called Lucifer. That's all I know you as. That's all you know me as. Frequents YouTube. Might be of YouTube, just how you are. The bright and morning star. Looking for that fellow beside yourself. Being Jesus Christ and reading through the Bible, I've come to the mathematical calculation that Lucifer and Jesus had to be brothers. Lucifer's the big guy out there. I also believe him to be African. There's such a separation in what he does between what everyone else is doing or following him. I really believe him to be African. I'm talking about Jay-Z, of course. Jay-Z has been like a big brother in Jesus' life. Why I believe him to be African is a crazy tale. I ran into an African fellow I believe to be an angel. It was at a building in downtown Kansas City. Showed up in the elevator at the same time. He was on his phone. He was about Jay-Z's height and sounded exactly like Jay-Z. I mean, I was for certain it was him. So that's who I'm looking mainly to get in contact with, as he's so knowledgeable of the layout of the land. Jay-Z is the Lord of the Bible, the Holy Bible. Jay-Z is the Lord. Whether people deem him to be Satan or whichever the case may be, then the Lord is Satan. Sounds nuts, surely. Anyway, growing up in this country, surrounded by African Americans who want nothing more than to stay in this country and want nothing more for themselves other than to be ironic. Africa is definitely where you would love to go. Probably definitely where you need to go. As America is littered with internet activity and radios everywhere. The only place you can think of that's off the map that wouldn't be littered with pollution would be Africa and or Brazil. You don't look very African. Could pass as Hispanic. Been told you were Hawaiian. But I don't believe you have to be African to go to Africa. But I grew up in a African American household, and it's been such a culture shock after getting baptized and waking up to the light of where we live. I believe these people to mislead me in the first place on purpose and with purpose in an attempt to get Jesus to kill himself, as they won't do it for whatever reasons. They wanted Jesus to kill himself before he got home. So I'm using YouTube as media to attempt to make my way home. I'm sure I got angels out there that keep up with me on YouTube that don't say anything. So Africa, country in particular, got this thing about Superman. Been thinking about Cape Town. Why Cape Town is synonymous with Superman, you couldn't tell me. It's just one of those things I've used to keep hope alive and making it out of this country alive.